Pahlavi text, translated by E.W. West, Part 3, Dinai Mainogi Khirad, Clarendon, Oxford University Press, 1885, Chapter 6. The sage asked the spirit of wisdom, thus, which land is unhappier? The spirit of wisdom answered, thus, that land is more afflicted, in which hell is formed. The second, when they slay in it a righteous man who is innocent. The third, for whose sake the demons and fiends work. The fourth, in which they construct an idol temple. The fifth, when a wicked man who is an evildoer makes an abode in it. The sixth, when the interment of a corpse is performed below. The seventh, in which a noxious creature has a burrow. The eighth, when, from the possession of the good, it comes into the possession of the bad. The ninth, when they make desolate that which was populous. And the 10th, in which they make lamentation and weeping. And so the lamentation and weeping for the dead, such outward manifestations of mourning, being considered sinful by the Parsis, as they ought to be by all unselfish people who believe in a future existence of happiness. And certainly not the self-punishment lamentation, right? This was also 13 verses. Verse 9, the interment of a corpse is performed below, or when an interment of a corpse is performed, as it is doubtful whether we ought to read a vir much or a zir below. For whose sake the demons and fiends work, verse 6, reading moon, some words over, runoi padas instead of drugon rano. Naryosang has read drug han runo and assumed the last word to be equivalent to the Avestan hund varana concourse, so as to obtain the meaning in which the demons and the fiend form a congress. But the Avestan hund varana is Pahlavi hum duba risni. See Pahlavi Vendidad 7, 237. Well, so they're performing sihr, the evil magic. They're working with the heat. But there is spirit sex, but you just don't have to go to that length to interpret it that way. And verse 4, in which hell is formed, Bundhis 3:27 states that hell is the middle of the earth. Some people look at the show that Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and that show, the Hellmouth. You know, the high school was over the Hellmouth or something like that. I don't remember. There's so much of that show I didn't watch. Of course, you know how WB shows got after a season or two, or maybe an episode nowadays. Which land is unhappier in verse 2? This chapter is an imitation of Vendidad 8:22-37, where it is stated that the 5 most unpleasant spots on earth are: first, the ridge of Arazura, on which the demons congregate from the pit of the fiend; second, where the most dead dogs and men lie buried; the third, where the most depositories for the dead are constructed; the fourth, where are the most burrows of the creatures of the evil spirit; and the fifth, where the family of the righteous man is driven into captivity. So the second has dead humans and dead animals, and the fourth might be the, the fifth might have 4 extra too, so again, it's a list of 10. Well, if you are going to have negative commandments, coupling them. So in chapter 8 of the Vendidad, you couple them. Or in chapter 5 and 6 of what we got here.